The arrival of 3E Atlas. We have just received breathtaking new visuals, images that reveal an object unlike anything humanity has ever witnessed before. A mysterious traveler, known only as 3E Atlas, has entered our solar system, carrying with it secrets older than time itself. It is only the third interstellar visitor ever recorded by science, a wandering enigma that has crossed unimaginable distances through the dark gulf between stars. Now, this cosmic nomad is streaking through our celestial neighborhood, moving at an astonishing speed, radiating a strange, almost intelligent energy that defies belief. This celestial body did not simply drift into our solar system by chance. It blasted in, with an intensity and momentum that shattered all predictions. Traveling at well over 100,000 miles per hour, it raced past the outer planets like a spark igniting the silence of space. When NASA's researchers turned their instruments toward it, they expected to see something familiar, the icy shimmer of a typical comet, a dusty core, and a glowing tail stretching away from the sun. But what appeared on their screens was anything but ordinary. It was as though the universe had decided to rewrite its own rules. 3E Atlas was clocked at an incredible 135,000 miles per hour, an extraordinary velocity for any object so far from the sun's gravitational pull. And yet, what truly stunned astronomers wasn't its speed, it was its tail, that beautiful streaming trail that defines a comet, breaking the very laws of celestial physics. Instead of pointing away from the sun as every comet's tail should, this one turned toward it, an impossible act in the known universe. That single discovery sent a shockwave through the entire astronomical community. Something about this visitor was not just different, it was unnatural. The early data hinted at something deeper, something that logic could not explain. Perhaps this wasn't a random piece of rock wandering the cosmic ocean. Maybe it was something constructed, not created, a machine disguised as a comet, a traveler with purpose rather than chance. And so began a story that would pull the world's scientists into a shared silence, a silence filled with awe, curiosity, and a trace of fear. To understand the mystery of 3E Atlas, we must travel back into its past, to a name that carries both hope and heartbreak. Back in 2019, another object bearing the same name was spotted by Hawaii's asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system, known simply as Atlas. That earlier discovery, catalogued as C-2019Y4, Atlas, was predicted to become one of the brightest comets of modern times. As it approached the sun, its brilliance grew faster and brighter than any comet in living memory. Astronomers across the world began calling it the comet of the century. Even people who had never looked through a telescope waited eagerly, dreaming of a spectacle that would outshine even the stars of Vega and Sirius. But just when it neared its moment of glory, the dream began to crumble. Comets are fragile, ancient relics of the early solar system, made of dust, ice, and stone bound together by the weakest of forces. Under the sun's fierce radiation, many of them fall apart before they ever reach their full brilliance. In late March 2020, as 3E Atlas was expected to blaze across the skies, its light began to fade. The rise stalled, then reversed, dimming like a firework that burned too fast and died too soon. When NASA turned the Hubble Space Telescope toward it, the truth was heartbreaking. The comet's core had shattered into more than 30 fragments, scattering into the void like the remains of a broken dream. By May 2020, the so-called comet of the century was gone, reduced to nothing more than a faint, ghostly haze drifting into eternal darkness. That disappointment left a scar on astronomers everywhere, a reminder that the universe can be both beautiful and cruel. So, when years later, a new object appeared on their screens, once again bearing the name 3E Atlas, hope returned, but this time, it came wrapped in caution. Scientists watched quietly, hearts steady, instruments ready, prepared for discovery, but braced for heartbreak. What came next would change everything. The impossible visitor had arrived. The arrival of 3E Atlas, unlike its fragile predecessor that crumbled into dust, this new 3E Atlas was entirely different. It was solid. It was fast. And, most unsettling of all, it was deliberate. It didn't tumble through space like debris. It moved with grace and precision, as though guided by intent rather than chance. At speeds beyond 130,000 miles per hour, it traced a path so smooth that even advanced models couldn't predict its next move. Then came the first great mystery. When scientists studied its glowing tail, they expected two, one of dust, one of gas, both pushed away from the sun. But 3E Atlas defied that law. Its tail turned toward the sun, like smoke drawn into a flame. At first, researchers thought it was an error, a glitch, an illusion, a trick of light. But telescope after telescope confirmed the same impossible sight. 3E Atlas was emitting a focused jet of material toward the sun. This wasn't random outgassing. It was precise, steady, and almost mechanical. The sun's heat should have scattered it instantly, yet it stayed sharp, like a beam of light piercing the solar wind. That impossible precision stunned the world. And just as scientists began to process it, another shock arrived. The object was accelerating. Not drifting, but speeding up. And its acceleration matched the direction of that mysterious jet, as if it were pushing itself, the way a spacecraft fires its engines. Some compared it to ion propulsion, the same technology used in advanced human probes, but smoother, stronger, and far too controlled to be natural. Then came the most puzzling discovery. Its chemical makeup was unlike any comet known to science. Most are built of frozen water and dust. But this one was nearly dry, dominated by carbon dioxide, in an unheard-of ratio of 8:1 against water. It hinted at an origin far colder and stranger than our solar system. Then Chile's very large telescope detected nickel vapor, but no iron. In nature, nickel and iron form together in stars and planets. To separate them requires refinement, a process that suggests technology. That meant one of two things: either we had discovered new cosmic chemistry, or something had built this. As it neared the sun, its emissions increased with mathematical precision, as though following instructions. Then came its orbit, not wild, not random, but almost perfectly aligned with the ecliptic plane where all our planets travel. Its angle was off by only 5 degrees, an accuracy nearly impossible by chance. And it wasn't just passing through. Its path made deliberate flybys of Mars, Venus, and even Earth's orbit. To many, it looked like the route of a probe, gathering data, studying planets, moving with intelligence. Scientists, cautious as ever, still seek natural answers. Some suggest a new kind of interstellar object, others blame strange rotation or unusual jets. But none explain its deliberate rhythm. 3E Atlas continues to move as if it has a purpose. So we are left to wonder, is it a natural wonder, or the first sign of extraterrestrial design? Whatever it is, the universe has just become far more mysterious than we ever imagined. So keep your eyes on the stars, because the story of 3E Atlas is only just beginning.